Hello, guys, and welcome back to Sweet and Sour Soccer. And I'm happy to say we've got another club football edition here. And what's going on at Barcelona over the last 24 hours is just absolutely blown up. It looks like, well, as the title says, they're pretty fucked. Guys, hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Scott, what is going on at Barcelona? I can't believe the article that you sent to me in regards to player wages, and tell everyone at home who doesn't already know what's actually happening, just in case this is the first time they've come across
Yeah,
it.
definitely. It was one of them there where you hit the nail on the head. I couldn't believe it was happening. I think me and you just kept doubting it, and the more we've read into it, the more reputable sources that are talking about it. So basically what's happening is Barcelona, and we're going to bring up some of the wages in a second for people to have a look at, 346 million euros a year worth of wages so far. I mean, it's just absolutely crazy. I know everyone bangs on about the Messi wage, but
I thought you were talking shit, weren't I? I thought this
yeah.
can't. Wait till you see some of the players on this list. It's disgusting. Oh my god!
But they've got pretty much more than half that to 160 million euros. And what's interesting about this is Barcelona have already made 4 signings this year, 3 of which are free player rate, like the free signings. So you've got the obvious ones in Aguero, Depay, and Eric Garcia. But the one that people aren't talking about as much about is they've signed someone from Real Betis for 8.1 million. I think that's million pounds to clarify. Emerson Royale, I believe his name is. Obviously, no one knows too much about him, but which is probably why he's not on everyone's lips. But it's a mad one because they can't even register him before they get the wages down. So what happened? The big question is what the hell's going to happen if they can't get the wages down? Because what's being rumored is apparently the players aren't prepared to take a wage cut, and no one wants to buy them because of the wages, and they're not prepared to take a wage cut. So they've got this massive task of halving the wage bill.
Yeah.
But no one wants them. And, we're going to take a look at the wages. And I'm sure once we have, everyone will see why. Let's pull them up.
It's incredible. When even an hour ago when we were talking about this, I even said, I don't think this is video worthy. You know what's going to happen? Just like Man City, we're going to get a 2-year ban from the Champions League because they broke. It never happens. The Big Six, because they left for the Super League, we're going to get docked 30. But it never happens. But the more you look into this, you think, what the hell is going on? I just want to try and bring up the top names. And the one that screams there, forget Lionel Messi. Antoine Griezmann is on 800,000 euros a week. There is no player in the Premier League that gets near this. 880,000 euros a week.
It's nearer 900, isn't it? And that's what's absolutely crazy. Of course, everyone will look straight at the Messi one, but the odd thing is, it's not even odd. The thing is with Messi, apparently he brings in more commercial income just because he's Messi than what his wage is. So as daft as it sounds, you could almost argue that's not a bad investment. Of course, Messi is another big question. Lionel Messi so far is a free agent, and they need to half the wage bill to sign these pre-contract players, and that's not even going to include Messi. So we're going to come on to what happens to Messi in a bit. But Griezmann, 881,000. De Jong, 400k.
The pound is not that strong. If this was 20 years ago, the maths adds up a bit. This is still over 300 grand a week. Aren't players like Pogba? I'm not Pogba's biggest fan, but I don't think he's on £300,000 a week. I don't think De Bruyne, Harry Kane's on £280,000 a week. But you've got players here like Gerard Piqué, Ousmane Dembele, 230,000 euros a week.
Roberto, look at Roberto. That's where it starts to get ridiculous. Roberto, obviously, we've just signed Trincao.
But look at these two.
Yeah.
Look at Coutinho's on the same wages. I love Marc-Andre Ter Stegen.
That's about right, that one. Do you think that one's about right, the Ter Stegen 165?
Oh, yeah. I thought you was going to say the Coutinho one. I'm a massive fan of Ter Stegen. I think he's underrated. Philip Coutinho, I don't know what's going on. And you go down this list and
Neto's their backup goalkeeper. 70k.
It's just let's try and go back up to the top of the list, but it's just incredible. I don't know why Pjanic is on 180 grand a week. I know there was a lot of hype about him when he moved from Juventus to Barcelona, but it's almost as if they thought this would never catch up with them. I want to put a disclaimer here very quickly, and I want to say I'm still confident that nothing will happen. Do you think La Liga are going to let Barcelona lose Messi? He's their asset. Ronaldo's gone. They don't have the Zidane of this world anymore. The Figos, all these Neymars, all these players. There's not as many superstars out there. Even Hazard is not living up to the bill. Messi is La Liga's attraction. There is no way. Just like the Premier League didn't find the big six properly because they can't. This is why they're holding back the Newcastle takeover. They can't upset the apple cart. And there's a part of me that thinks in a week this will be fine.
Do you not think part of it could be a very stern warning though? Because obviously La Liga perhaps aren't going to be so kind to them. Let's not forget Barcelona, Real Madrid. They still actually want. I think they're still arguing for the Super League. They still want to leave. So maybe because these wages have been going on for a bit. I think what we pulled up there was the 2021 wages, which is why last season's. So this has been ongoing. Is this La Liga now going? You know what? You tried to leave us. We're gonna start coming down hard on you.
Weren't La Liga quite sympathetic with them, even though that Barcelona, I know there's teams in other countries, AC Milan are putting up a fight as well to get the Super League. They can't afford to have Barcelona out of the Champions League. They can't afford Barcelona to struggle. They can't. These clubs, your Barcelonas, your Munichs, your Manchester Uniteds, even PSG now in France, these aren't just a football club. They are a symbol of that country. People in America, China, Australia, they fly tens of thousands of miles to watch a 90-minute football game. They're a part of the national identity, aren't they? They can't. And another thing that I think what's happened is Barcelona, you look at Griezmann, we all knew that these plans for the Super League, the Prem, the Italians, the Spanish, this hasn't been going on for 6 months, has it? They were planning this snidely for a few years. Is that why these contracts are so high? Because they thought they'd be in the Super League. Because $1.3 million a week for Messi and $880,000 for Griezmann in the Super League, when you're earning $3 billion a year, that's not a lot of money.
But I think Messi already has his commercial value. Griezmann. I mean, he's not even really been. Barcelona fans haven't even massively warmed to Griezmann. Of course, they didn't win the league last year. Exactly.
Constantly. Mate, let's move on to Messi. What do you think? I'm still in the camp that he's not going to leave. So do you? I know you think there's more of a chance than me. Do you see the Prem? Will we see Messi in the Prem? He's still scoring 43 goals a season and stuff. Or is it PSG? I don't.
It's an interesting one, isn't it? Because he apparently, he was all for Barcelona. They thought an agreement could be done. That's what was being reported. This has put major questions on it. 32 years of age as well. The only person in the that I think is going to get them in the Prem is City, isn't it? Let's be honest. It's going to be City, or it's going to be a PSG. For me, that's the only two that can really afford him, unless he decides I want to take a massive wage cut. I don't see Messi coming to the Prem unless it's City either. He's going to want to come and he's going to win. He's going to want to win trophies. And I don't know, it's one of them, he's going to want massive wages. But look, if that gets the commercial value in,
just imagine.
I don't think City will pay that much. I mean, I don't even think PSG will.
But the thing is, if they can pay, if they were to buy Harry Kane for, let's say, 100 million, and then they've still got to pay him 300 grand a week, or you take Messi on a 3-year deal and you can afford to pay him £1 million a week, that's probably a cheaper option than Kane on 300 and 100 million up front, or instalment, whatever the case may be. Will they look at this now and go, well, if we get Messi, we probably still win the Premier League without Kane, but they did last season with neither. Aguero didn't win them the Premier League, did he? So he's leaving, so it's not the biggest issue in the world. Does this have a knock-on effect with Kane? If he's not going to go City and still adamant to leave, the Man United try and pick him up.
Well,
There could be a
It's going to
knock-on
be a
effect.
massive, interesting one. It's going to be an interesting one. That's a good shout. What does this mean for Kane? But also, you've got to look at the fact that, you know, it's been rumoured that they could afford Grealish and Kane, both 100 million a piece, is what was being rumoured. You know, you look at that and they're thinking, right, we're going to have a massive investment there. Do they maybe, you know, Aston Villa don't want to sell Grealish. I don't think Grealish is pushing for a move.
He's not.
I mean, look, you know, let's be honest, as much as even as Wolves fans, we're loving Grealish at the moment. If you can get Messi, you're going to bring Messi in, aren't you? Let's face it.
Of course you are, even if it's only for 2 years, because the amount of endorsements that it'll bring to the club. Sure, I mean, my God, bring in Messi there. You're making money back.
Just to quickly finish last thing on this Barcelona one, this is why we're seeing things that usually wouldn't happen to Barcelona. You think last year, you know, they let some big profile players go on a free. Obviously, one of them being the Leeds coup. His name's gone out of my head. Rodrigo, was it?
Yes. Do you mean players like they were letting
Rafinha, weren't it?
Rafinha, so Rafinha was taken out. You got to think now, even Semedo at £27 million, who, of course, Wolves signed. They've put up about 10 players this summer on the transfer list.
Firpo's going to Leeds. That's just been announced. It's a crazy situation. Let us know what you guys think in the comments. Do you think Barcelona are actually going to be punished? Do you buy into all this? It's just a mad situation. And let's face it, they deserve to be punished with those kind of wages, because who's going to pay for that in the end? Ultimately, all they're doing is building debt, which is eventually going to come back to the fans. It's eventually going to mean that, okay, it's a Spanish club this time, but their fans will pay for tickets more. The commercial deals will charge the common people more to watch football. At the end of the day, whilst they're building up this debt, someone's going to have to repay it, and it's always going to come back to us, the fans. And this is what makes these kind of situations, this is what makes me so angry about them.
I completely agree. A part of me doesn't want to see Barcelona crumble because they're an institution of world football. But then again, at the end of the day, if we have to send a message to the cities of this world, and the PSGs, you can't get away with this. I know it's a different league, different rules, different governing bodies, but my God, I really hope something comes of this. There has to be repercussions for these types of actions.
Definitely. Guys, please like the video. Please, if you're new here, subscribe to the channel, and we will see you on the next one.